So, und damit kommen wir zur aktuellen Nummer 29 der Welt. Der erste Spieler in der Geschichte, der den Titel verteidigen konnte bei den World Youth Championship. Aus Belgien, aus Antwerpen, der mit Sicherheit beste Tänzer der PDC, der Dreammaker, Dimitri van den Bergh. Ladies and Gentlemen, jetzt wartet die Nummer 1 der Welt. Er steht bei 30 European Tour Siegen. Er ist der Weltmeister von 2014, 2017 und 2019. MVG, Mighty Mike, Michael van Gerwen.
Two more games to go on day 2 of the German Darts Open, and after a match between Mensur Suljovic and Miki Mansell where, well, it lasted so long that, I mean, continental drift took place. Serious movement in the time that match endured. But the last 2 games, I think, are going to be pretty rapid, because we've got the machine gun Jermaine Watermaner taking on Raymond van Barneveld, and mighty Michael van Gerwen going up against Dimitri van den Bergh. It is the world #1 and world champion against the 2-time world youth champion. Dimitri has beaten him on a big stage before. It was here in Germany. It was in front of a world record crowd, but that is the only time that he has beaten MVG. Can he overcome the best player on the planet to set up a last 16 tie with the winner of our final match between Jermaine Watermaner and Raymond van Barneveld? Or will MVG carry on his serene progress on the Euro Tour this year? He's only lost once so far. That was to flawless finishing from Keegan Brown. He won last weekend. He won the opening Euro Tour event of the year. He's picked up 30 of these titles, and he's hungry for more.
First leg is Michael to throw first. Game on.
Paul Nicholson in the box for Mighty Mike versus the Dreammaker.
Yeah, this one's going to be a bit quicker than the last one.
100.
Mike has looked very, very good over the last few weeks, and he was involved in a great game on Thursday with Wadey.
Oh, what a match.
Brilliant, brilliant match.
100.
Testament to Michael that he was able to get a point there, because Wadey was throwing everything at him.
Well, it wasn't dissimilar to Dimitri van den Bergh's game against James Wade in the Premier League when Dimitri played as a contender, because that ended in a draw in Rotterdam, and both men were averaging over a ton.
Now, one thing that's got to change tonight is the performance of Dimitri, because yesterday he really wasn't at the races, but he didn't have to be.
No, but he was very disappointed. I don't think I've ever seen Dimitri as frustrated on stage as he was against Thomas Cohnlein, the host nation qualifier. He barely averaged 80, Dimitri. He did win it 6-2, but he was raging.
58.
So there are two types of players in World Darts, Dan, and that kind of performance splits the audience. So you get a 171 from Michael van Gerwen. There are the people who will say, well, it was an easy game, that's fine, let's move on to the next one. And then there are people like Dimitri who win with a poor average and say, I'm not happy with that because I play better than that. That says to me that he is aiming high.
He certainly is aiming high. It doesn't come any higher than beating the best player on the planet.
76.
But at the minute, Michael van Gerwen is coasting to this opening leg because Dimitri has not got going.
He's not found his first start yet.
94.
Playing a little bit faster than usual as well, Dimitri.
Probably champing at the bit to get going after a 45-minute wait, pretty much.
Leg, Michael van Gerwen.
MVG does take the first leg. It's only an 18-darter. It's nothing special at all.
Michael's so experienced at European tours that he's been through every single type of match, I'm sure.
125.
But one thing he does know how to do is peak at the right times. And how many times have we seen him play his best game of the weekend in the final?
Well, it's not only that. It's about being able to start a game poorly or go through a spell in the game, in the middle of the game, where he is throwing really average stuff. I mean, average by MVG standards, you know, 90 average. But it's beatable. But what happens most of the time is that he's then able to shrug that off and find that level that we know he's got. And he may only need it for 2 or 3 legs, but he can find it and produce it, and it wins in the game.
Well, I think the best example of that in recent history is the 11th leg against Ted Everts last week in the quarters, which he was in serious trouble. Everts was coming for him. He was playing better than Michael was. And in that last leg, Michael just found something, and where it came from, I have no idea.
Well, and you're never safe against him. You can be 6, 7 legs in front, and he can reel you in. Did that to Darren Webster at the Players' Championship finals in the semis. Treble 20 for double 18.
85.
Oh, he's extracting everything tonight. He really wants to put in a performance. No matter how many times we say that bull shot on the 1-2-1 is probably the wrong one to do, he's going to continue to do it.
36.
So for a better 13-darter, can Dimitri nick it?
Dimitri require 96.
Well, the 96, so treble 20 for double 18. Does like the double 18, does Dimitri. Could use it here for double-double. No, he comes down the board.
I'm surprised he didn't go double 18 for double top there.
18.
Maybe a little bit defensive from Dimitri. Double 2. Double 1.
No score.
Wow.
Dimitri require 40.
Well, is Michael van Gerwen going to have one of those off nights?
I think I know what's happening here. Michael's not being pushed. And we could see Michael doing some crazy stuff here just to change things up. When he's not pushed, he has been
44.
accused of getting a little bit bored sometimes. And he's got to stay professional here, stay straight, and do a job on Dimitri in order to get title number 31. Now, he can't win the tournament today, but he can lose it.
Yeah, if you're going to get MVG, sometimes your best chance is to get him early.
174.
What we want to see is a proper high-quality contest here, and Michael van Gerwen is not going to sleepwalk his way through this. That bit of aggression suggests that. Oh, dear.
9 score.
Well, Bevins has given it the old scored suffix just to emphasise it was a very low score. Could have just gone 9, but no, 9 scored.
It'd be really funny in the last match if George Noble was to say 140 scored. But this is
30.
a very rare thing for Michael because he's in a tournament he's never won.
Yeah, not been a happy hunting ground. Ian White has done for him both the previous years.
How many tournaments can he go to in a year and say that he's not won this one. This is one. The Champions League is another. I can't think of another one.
42.
Well, I'm sure there'll be some
75.
Players' Championship event, like 12 or 20 or whatever, that he's not won.
51.
Big misses and a wry smile from MVG. He knows he's coming back.
Right, well, Dimitri's in a situation here where he went and averaged 80 yesterday and was pretty poor against Thomas
93,
Cohnlein, and here he's even
24.
worse.
Game shot on the third leg, Michael Van Gerwen. Fourth leg is Dimitri to throw first. Game on.
Well, it is not the start to this game that I'd anticipated, I have to say.
I thought there was a danger of this, you know, after last night's performance from Dimitri.
96.
I genuinely did not see him going out and playing that poorly. I certainly didn't see him playing worse. I know we're only 3 legs in here, so that average is going to go up surely. But it is curious just to see those numbers next to those guys' names.
Well, let me tell you a little story about a time I played Michael Van Gerwen in a Players' Championship event. We were going at it, hammer and tongs, 3-3, and Michael's missed 1 dart to go 4-3 up. I've missed 3 clean darts to go 4-3 up myself. Then he's taken the shot and he comes back from the board and he does this to me. Starts tutting at me. And then after that he won the rest of the match easy. It's almost as if he was telling me off for missing darts. I remembered that and I thought, you know what? I don't mind that at all. He said, you've had your chance and now I'm going to kick on.
99.
Can't afford to do that to me, pal. I remember you taking him on at the European Championship, where you had a good old go at him in the early stages.
Yeah, that was fun, that.
And then the foot went to the floor and MVG decided he was not going to be beaten that day.
That's my own fault. I should have hit double 14 in leg 5.
Well, that might have made the difference. But that's the thing with MVG. You know, if you don't take your chances, he'll punish.
140.
And he has got himself down to a finish, but Dimitri, for the first time in this match, has found himself ahead in a leg.
They're quite a way off.
60.
Definitely hasn't got the gauge right on that lead dart. This could go.
Oh my.
140.
Well, Dimitri's got to hit 2
88.
big numbers to get a dart at the bullseye, and that's not a gimme right now. Oh dear. Rescued.
56.
Can't find it.
Michael Van Gerwen, 20.
2 10s. Guide. In.
Game shot the fourth leg.
Boy, is
Michael
that how
Van
you
Gerwen.
use a guide for double 10.
Fifth leg is Michael
Just
to throw
caressed
first.
it on the
Game
left side of the dart. And Michael curiously looks over to Dimitri, probably wondering why he's not performing at his best tonight.
Yeah, and you know what?
136.
He loves sending out statements, Michael Van Gerwen. He absolutely loves averaging 112 and smashing people all over the board and saying, look, I'm the governor, pay attention. But he really doesn't mind easy, convincing wins when he's playing his F game.
57.
He doesn't care. He's quite happy. Look, we've heard him say it. I played rubbish and I still won. They still can't beat me. Where's this come from? Where has this come from? This is a man who's averaging in the 70s leading up to the start of this leg, and Dimitri Van den Bergh has gone back-to-back 180s.
Dimitri 141.
This would be the most unlikely 9-darter I think I've ever seen.
There's the one. Wheels are off.
7 score.
What is going on? 180, 180, 7.
180. He could easily lose this leg now.
134.
What a peculiar leg of darts. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Oh my. He can't go 180, 180, 7, 7, surely.
I think this 81 is going to get plucked.
74. Michael Van Gerwen, 81.
Yeah, double 12. Ooh,
75.
inside on 6s, so Dimitri gets another chance.
60.
Now he's got to be nice and high on this 20. Not that high. All right. just hit double 10 then.
40.
You can definitely see that he needs recalibration.
6.
This has been an odd performance from Dimitri.
I do not know what to make of it. The way he was shaking his hand there, it suggests that he's nervous. But
Michael Van Gerwen.
the thing is, the nerves are not going to get any better for Dimitri unless he starts throwing better. I mean, he's had 6 perfect darts there, and then he missed the entire board. He had a visit of 7. He's had a visit of 9. Dimitri, if he won this title this weekend, he would become the World Cup of Darts captain, provisionally, for Belgium. He moved above Kim Huybrechts in the rankings. But at the minute,
108.
he's struggling to hit anything.
Everybody has an off day. Doesn't matter how good you are. But this is a real off day for Dimitri. It's one that's going to keep him awake tonight if he doesn't
43.
sort this out soon, because Michael Van Gerwen is cruising.
Well, Michael Van Gerwen had a real workout in his opening game last weekend because Krzysztof Ratajski was, I think, a little bit unlucky to come away with a 6-4 defeat. And Dimitri's having all kinds of problems. Even when the first start is there, he's struggling to follow it. Ted Everts gave him a real test in the quarterfinals, but around that there was some dominant stuff. I mean,
57.
Rob Cross just seems to have a mental block playing MVG, and he coasted to an easy victory there. He took Simon Whitlock apart in the final.
100.
I did want to see Whitlock get that 145 in the final last week, though.
45 bull.
Bull 45 and missed the bull.
140.
That would have been one for social media.
Well, Dimitri, could he? He might.
120.
Second time he's been down that corner, and it's really flailed to the left. Double 16 for MVG. He gets double 8 though. 5-1 up, cruising. As I said before, he says come on to himself, just needs one more leg. And you mentioned Ratajski. Well, Dimitri beat him in qualifying in a very good quality game. He averaged 100 in that match, did Dimitri. And he averaged close to 100 in all 3 games in qualifying. So since then, something hasn't been right.
Well, when was the last time you saw a game of Michael Van Gerwen where 6 legs into it, only one of them has been won in 5 visits to the board?
140.
Well, if he gets this leg, it's going to be a very interesting interview to see what he feels about how the last 20 minutes has gone.
74.
He expects people to really turn up against him and push him. And that's when he kicks on. It's almost like he feeds on the energy of other people. Now, MVG loves to leave 170 at the end of a match. That was the biggest single 12 you've ever seen in your life.
44. Like Lugois, 170.
Well, at no point this year has Dimitri had back-to-back games where he's averaged 80. And that's what's happening.
145.
Van Gerwen nearly wins it with the 170, but he will be back, and there's only one outcome here, surely. A frustrating and baffling evening for Dimitri van den Bergh. What was a huge opportunity has turned into a nightmare for the Dream Maker, who survives a couple more match darts, but will have to survive more if he's just to last another leg in this.
These should be the last 3 darts that Dimitri throws in this match. His last one's a very good one. Double 4 then, gets it done. And MVG turns to Dimitri, and he knows that it wasn't his best performance, but MVG does go through to play against Watamina or RVB. That's tantalising. We'll find out who he plays in the next match. Do not leave us. And we're about to have a really good word with MVG to see what he thought of that match.
Das war das Duell des aktuellen Weltmeisters gegen den World Youth Champion. Und Michael Van Gerwen hat gewonnen. Congratulations. Oh.
Scheiße.
Applaus. Scheiße.
Yeah.
Not, yeah, bist nicht happy, no.
No, to be fair, it wasn't a good game at all. I never saw Dimitri play so bad in my life. So, to be fair, and I just told him as well, exactly the same. He was going for the 60, he threw Ronda below, and then he threw tops. And I don't know, maybe his form a little bit, but everyone has them dips sometimes, do you know what I mean? It's hard, but for me to concentrate at that moment was really difficult.
Is it a special motivation that this is one of the few tournaments you haven't won yet?
Yeah, I never won here before, but I have to play a little bit better than this. But I'm looking forward to it. It's been a phenomenal crowd here. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Michael, thank you. Michael van Gerwen. Der hätte Lust hier zu gewinnen, sagt aber auch, ich muss